Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6. The most senior police officer in charge on the day of the Hillsborough disaster in 1989 has admitted that he probably wasn't the best man for the job. Former Chief Superintendent David Duckenfield was giving evidence at the inquests into the deaths of 96 Liverpool football fans. Mr. Duckenfield was match commander on the day. Our correspondent Judith Moritz is outside the hearing in Warrington. Judith. Ed Miliband will face vicious and personal attacks in the election campaign, but he's been underestimated in the past and is ready for the fight. Those are the words of his wife, Justine Miliband, who has been talking to the BBC in her first major interview. In the latest of our series looking behind the politics of our party leaders, Ed Miliband says he doesn't care what is written about him and is more resilient than people think. They've been talking to our deputy political editor, James Landale. Now, when it opens in 2018, Europe's biggest rail project will carry 200 million passengers a year under London. But before the trains start operating, the BBC's been allowed to fly a drone along the tunnels of Crossrail with spectacular results. Here's our transport correspondent, Richard Westcott. Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6. The author Sir Terry Pratchett has died at the age of 66. He was a prolific writer who sold more than 70 million novels worldwide. 7 years ago, he was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease. He became a high-profile campaigner for the right to die. This afternoon, his publisher said Sir Terry had died at home with his cat sleeping on his bed, surrounded by family. Nick Hyam looks back at his life. With the general election less than 2 months away, less than half of young people say they will definitely vote, according to a survey of 18 to 24-year-olds carried out for the BBC. So how do you get more of them to exercise their democratic right? And what are the issues they care most passionately about? Radio 1 Newsbeat's political reporter Greg Dawson has been finding out. Now, the cast and crew of Downton Abbey with an added extra. Yes, the Duchess of Cambridge has visited the set of Downton Abbey and she met many of those in it at Ealing Studios in West London on what's likely to be one of her last engagements before the birth of her second child.